So first time doing this. Peter's a bit of a veteran though, but first time on stage. So yeah, we're here to talk about our idea of solving the IP identity crisis. Over to you, Peter.
Hello everybody, so good to be here. You probably have noticed there's lots of IP going in around the world. Is anybody from the BBC here? Yeah, so you would know about BBC Central Square in Cardiff. That's one of the first new facilities with IP in its core, and that's all based around the SMPTE 2110 and NMOS to discover things. Now, as we are getting more and more of this happening, we're going to see more and more complexity happening and difficulty of finding things that you want to work with. So that picture Polly's put up there, that's an example of the sort of numbers of resources you'll have in your IP-based facility. We're hearing stories of tens, even over 100,000 senders, receivers, nodes, devices, and so on there. Now, those of you who know about NMOS will know about ISO 4 and ISO 5. They can give you a number, but that doesn't always mean anything to somebody looking at a screen. It makes the life is difficult there's complexity for broadcasters and for integrators. So that all adds up to the time. It adds time to integration. It adds cost, and importantly, because people are scared of turning things off and on because they can't find them again, they tend to get left on when they're not needed, which has sustainability aspects. So back to Polly, sorry.
That's all right.
Polly, sorry.
Just like to note that diagram that we had on the last slide, the lovely AV people asked me if that was actually correct because it didn't look like anything. And that was kind of the point, actually. These systems are so complex. So the idea we want is to accelerate the implementation of these up-to-date specifications, and hopefully that will allow quick and efficient resource updates in our very complex IP infrastructures. So what we want to do is we firstly want to gain understanding of these challenges. You know, we're hearing it on the grapevine, conversations with broadcasters about the challenges they're facing. We want to identify vendors that intend to implement IS 13, which is moved on from ISO 4 to kind of help solve some of those issues around resource labelling. We want to do a hands-on workshop with vendors to try and look at how to implement this. Obviously, we'll need to test that. And then the idea being we would then have a working system that can showcase this at IBC.
Thank you. So IS 13, it's a new piece of work in progress in the AMWA about it's for labelling and tagging resources to help challenge this problem, but we need to try and accelerate that work in the IBC here. So next. The innovation here is actually being able to use this in practice, looking at vendor implementations, making a consistent approach so you can find what you're looking for based on a consistent way of naming and updating those labels and providing building blocks for future architectures. So as we move to a sort of on-demand IP cloud approach, then we've got scope for doing things much more dynamically.
Slight regrets at the excessive animations that I've put on here. So who have we already got support from? BBC, obviously, I'm from Eviden, EBU, so we did whooping the EBU earlier, DB Broadcast, IMG, and Solent University as well. For a little bit of background context, that's where I worked for a number of years, running their media technology program. What we're trying to kind of establish is people that are already facing issues with this workflow, so looking at those with those people for large IP systems, broadcasters and integrators who are keen to explore this as an accelerated approach, and then vendors who are willing to test and implement the latest NMOS specifications.
So what does this mean for the industry? We'll be supporting the move to IP and cloud. Got 13 seconds.
Hopefully giving broadcasters a bit more confidence that they can switch their systems on and off, they can adapt and add elements to their systems without having to spend a long time trying to find things.
And as a result of that, the power bill does go down.
Thank you.
Thank you.